Hello. Welcome to Volume 3 of Poison Talks. I'm Poison Type, and I'm here with my guest, the lovely Imploded Grenade. Hello, Miss Grenade.
Hi.
Shall I call you Grenade? Kate? Imp? No, that doesn't work. We're not doing that.
Yeah, please call me Imp. Exactly. No. Kate is fine. Imploded, Swollen, whatever you want to call.
Yes. Swollen, Paladaddy. You're a woman of many names.
I am.
And with episode 3 of my interview series, this is me coming out of my comfort zone a little bit. So for those fans of Poison Talks in chat, you may have seen episode 1 with Z Warden, good friend of mine from IRL, or episode 2 with Poseidon, good friend of mine from IRL. But Miss Grenade, we've never actually met. I don't know. I don't even know who you are.
Perfect. That's how I like it.
So with that, who are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh God, I'm old and I play random games on Twitch.
I'm older than you.
No, you're not. I'm older than you.
Didn't we talk about this? We're like the same age. We're both 23.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, you are, as your Twitch bio says, a rando girl playing rando games.
Yes, very true.
Scheduling an interview with Who Are You is the biggest move I've seen. Relax. No, I met Miss Grenade here through, I guess, as a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
Where one day, Fragmented, friend of the chat, but who's working right now, so unfortunately has to miss this, was playing Among Us, and I was invited to play with him. And I met several of his friends, most of whom I liked, but there was one I was particularly drawn to. That's you. That's you, Grenade.
Thanks.
Something about your contagious laugh.
It's nice to be noticed.
And I figured that since recently you were going on this same journey that I've been going on as a new Twitch streamer, you're the perfect person to talk to bridge the gap between like bros that I just kind of hang out with in real life and like famous people that I'm sure to get after this interview blows up. Blows up like a grenade. That's relax. But yeah, you recently have also started doing the streaming thing. And I don't know, tell chat what you've been playing, what you've been up
to. Originally in January, it was just literally when we started, it was just random games, and by we it was mostly me and my husband. We started with hunting games, playing the forest, things like that. It was just literally random games because I jump from one game to another. It could be an FPS, could be an RPG, could be a plethora of different games because I enjoy a multitude of different genres.
Sure. And it's funny because I don't know if I've ever told you this specifically, but you, in your own way, have been you've been a big inspiration to me for doing this Twitch thing. In that when we played Among Us, you were just some rando girl playing rando games, and then afterwards, Frag mentioned like, because I asked Frag like, yeah, who is this Grenade girl? She seems nice, and he's like, well, if you want, she's like sharing her screen, she's like streaming. I'm just like, oh, this rando girl is just kind of playing games with their friends and showing it off, and I'm like, that's something I want to do. And
yeah, I was doing it in Discord before, just straight Discord, because I wasn't really interested in showing other people kind of at the time. I don't know. It's hard to explain how that really started.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, to me, it was just the idea that you're doing the same thing I was doing at the time. You're just playing some Among Us, or you're playing some Phasmophobia, or you're just hanging out with your friends and doing games. And then you wound up like sharing this in a small way on Discord, and I had the thought like, I could do that too. And just having another person in my like the outside of my circle there who's able to just go on and do the thing, you showed me I could go on and do the thing. So thank you for that. And yeah, I'm just trying to flatter you at this point. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I have zero problem with that.
But what was it just that like that got you onto Twitch afterwards, where you just thought like, this is the next step, or what like drew you to streaming beyond that, or was that it, just like playing games with your friends?
It was a mix of finally pushing myself out there. Like, it's okay to show other people what I'm doing, even if what I'm doing is so dumb and repetitive. But it was mostly my moderator, my friend Lynx, who said, "Why don't you just do this on Twitch?"
Sure.
So it was a mix of the two. Like, okay, we can share this. This is okay, and a friend just kind of giving that push.
Yeah. Cool. And I mean, on the one hand, I talk about all the time in real life and on Twitch and everywhere else, like, it does just feel like I'm doing the things that I was doing before. I'm just playing a video game. But now, not only do you have your friends able to come in and hang out and watch, we were just talking about that before you came on, but like you have the chance of other random people popping in who like Divinity if you're playing Divinity, who like Dead Space if you're playing Dead Space. And not only does it help you kind of like, I don't know, it's cliche to say strengthen the bonds of friendship with those people you already know, but also like to make new people. Like a good friend of mine, Septuus Centennial, I caught him randomly in your chat the other day because, you know, we streamers just kind of all share viewers.
I love Supa.
Yeah, oh, Supa. He's so Supa. And that's how he refers himself to himself now, because you called him Supa by accident one time, and now he comes to my chat like, hey, I'm Supa.
Supa.
It's like, that's great. And I know you mentioned that you play with your husband quite a bit. Shout outs to husband, who I believe is watching now.
I mean, he may be busy. I have no idea.
Oh, maybe he's not. Maybe he'll catch it on YouTube. Who knows? But I feel like, at least for me, like I feel closer to the people that I've been missing during the pandemic, or people I haven't talked to in far too long. Like it's a nice outlet, isn't it?
Yeah, it is too. It is nice to be able to just show what you're doing and just connect in a different way, and just out there for other people who are equally unconnected to loved ones and family. It's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. In addition, talking about the good things streaming can do, I believe in the last month or so you've been doing some charity business.
Yes.
Correct me if I get the details wrong, but you raised a little under $700 for Forever Friends Rescue and Volunteers. Forever,
yes,
like F-U-R. Yeah.
Yes, Fur. F-U-R-R, yes.
Which is, that's like a cat rescue thing, isn't it? Tell me about it.
They're a cat rescue and no-kill shelter, essentially, that we actually adopted our 3 cats from. And they're great people. They work amazingly just with people and with the cats, and they do, before the pandemic, unfortunately, they were doing a lot of different ways to raise money. They were at the local mall doing gift bags and gift baskets and bake sales and things like that. But because of the pandemic, they haven't been able to raise that much money, unfortunately.
Okay.
So.
Well, cool. Well, as we talk about this, I'm going to let's we'll toss them in chat. That's Forever Friends Rescue, the website. And that's something I found especially cool that I saw you doing, because you, as some rando girl playing rando games, you just hopped on and started playing some video games and decided this was a thing you're going to do to raise money for this excellent cause. And when I see, I've had some other streamers like talk to me about like, you know, I want to do a charity thing. Like, I feel like that's a good way to maybe get my name out there or like share this. I don't know. Is it even worth me doing this thing? Like, I've had people ask that, and I think it's what you make of it, and what you did with this charity absolutely shows that, doesn't it?
I think it's a mix of wanting to, being in that mindset, like, okay, I want to do this versus I can do this, because that was the other thing when it came down to it, was how much money is the full amount that I can put away to do for this charity, because that was a big concern. How do we stretch this out without going over like $2,000 or something absolutely insane? There has to be a balance.
Sure.
There has to be a balance between what you can do versus what you want to do. And I wanted to do a lot more. I wanted this to be kind of like a quarterly thing. Like every 3 months we would do a charity month. But as much as I want to do that, that may not happen. But I'd rather do something than absolutely nothing at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. with 2020 the way that it was, and me in general, because of not being able to see as many friends and family, doing something nice like this just felt good.
Yeah,
just felt
for
good.
sure. That's real cool. And that's, I don't know, like an important. Though I talk a lot, and I talked earlier about like what the measure of success on Twitch is. Like, are you successful if you have 1,000 subs? Are you successful if you do a cool thing in a game? But really, that's another example of success being the way you define it, especially if you define your success as doing something noble and something good that comes outside of Twitch and for cats, for animals. Like, that's a super cool thing. I like the way you work, Miss Grenade.
Thank you. I mean, it's a good thing to go out there and be able to do something for someone else. And as much as I wish I could physically go out there, I know with coronavirus, and I don't have a lot of time, unfortunately, to like do things like that. And I've worked at shelters, or when I was younger, a shelter before, and it's rough seeing some of the cats that way. So it's nice to be able to give back in some sort of way.
Right. Very cool. To shift gears a little bit, so again, we've said a couple times, you are new to the streaming scene.
Yes, absolutely.
But I mean, something I picked up from you early on is you are a good talker, which I suppose you have to be to play. I mean, you might disagree. You say all the time.
Absolutely, I do. Absolutely. I'm super, like, the one time you rated me, I was like, oh, that's 36 extra people on top of who I already have, and I'm used to dealing with 5 people at most. Suddenly, there's a crap ton of people, and I don't know how to talk. So,
Yeah, that's okay. But you do have a background in Dungeons and Dragons, correct?
I do.
And other perhaps role-playing ventures. Like, how has that helped you in your streaming sense, like a role-playing or playing the character of a streamer or playing yourself online? Like, how has that helped?
I don't know if it's added a lot to the whole streaming thing, because usually when I'm streaming, it's just, okay, this is me, period. Because I don't want to have to change who I am just to stream, to present myself to other people. I just want to be me, because if it's not me, and if I'm not having fun, then what's the point? You know what I mean?
Right.
What's the point of presenting a fake persona out there if I'm not happy doing these things?
Well, for sure.
So, but I love D&D, and I think that D&D, how to put this, does make me stronger presenting myself as a person, because you're always constantly role-playing as someone else. You're constantly trying to put your mindset in another person that you've created. It's still a part of you.
Sure.
So I think that just in general, being able to deal with new people, because when I was playing D&D, it was all online, and I'm playing with people who live in Germany, for God's sake, who I've never met.
Right.
So I think it's been helpful to just boost my confidence a little bit as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've said a couple times that, like, me coming into this streaming thing from, a background of customer service, of food service, of the service industry, waiting on people, or running a cash register, or like going door to door, like anything with the customer service has been a huge boon to me in like the transition to this streaming thing. And like anything that gets you talking to other people, whether you're playing a character, which you certainly do in customer service, whether you're playing a literal character like you do in Dungeons and Dragons, like all that is like, I don't know, it's helpful compared to someone who just comes in as like, I'm gonna play some video games, and especially because so many of the people in my world who I've seen come on and stream are like teenagers, like half our age, but having the background where you get used to talking to people is, I don't know, extremely helpful. But another thing that's going back to the Among Us group where I found you, where we found each other, it's been really nice that not only having a lot of competent adults playing, because Among Us and other games, community games, aren't always populated with people who have that background in talking that we do. Anyway, it's nice to have a mix of male and female representation. And because I've been a gamer since the early days of Xbox Live and well before that, it is not always an equally gendered area, you know? So I have to ask the question, Miss Girl Gamer. Has that been something in your streaming experience that has come up in any way yet? Or is it something that you're worried about? Or do you think it's different for girls? I don't know.
I will say that, and we did talk about this at one point before, was in my first month of streaming, I did encounter a person who became a follower and is no longer a follower, who made a sexual reference to what I was doing. Why? I don't know. I wish I did. I don't know what compels people to think that I'm performing a sexual act is okay on the internet, or is okay to just say to anybody.
Right.
So I've been there, and it's weird and it's awkward, and I will say that because I didn't understand completely what he was referencing at the time, I'm not going to repeat what he said.
Sure.
So I just, my initial reaction is to laugh it off. Not only because I didn't know what was being said to me, but because when
Sure.
awkward things happen, I start to laugh.
Sure.
It's just my reaction.
I mean,
it was not poison, by the way. I read chat.
Chat, relax, okay? Behave yourself for like 20 more minutes.
No, it was some random guy who is no longer a follower, and I'm glad for that because, yeah. But I think at any point in time, somebody can fall into that pitfall where there's that one person who is going to ruin it for everybody else. In some way, somehow, there's always going to be one. And it sucks to deal with that, but you've got so many other people who are following you for the right reasons, who
Right.
want to see you either succeed or just have fun or whatever it is. So I expect to have to jump over that hurdle again some point in the future. And you may as well. I don't know.
Well, yes, for different reasons. I mean, I'm harassed constantly by chat for every reason, including during this interview. Thanks, guys. But
Don't
it's
stop, Pat. Don't stop.
we have friendly banter, and it's very rare that there's any kind of like barbs to it, you know. But I mean, I've put myself out there in a couple different places, on Twitter, on Reddit, on my personal Facebook. I've advertised a little bit, and through other parts of Twitch. And for the most part, like even the people who like Mindy, who is constantly like streamer died, streamer sucks. It's all in good fun, and it's appreciated to have that kind of like comfort, you know.
Yeah.
But there have been a couple times where I've had people like genuinely come at me with real. I see, chat. It's okay. Come at me with like real unpleasant stuff. Like one of the very first clips I ever posted onto Reddit was me getting to the very end of the difficult game I'm playing and dying in front of the last boss's defeated body. And that caught fire in a big way. Like, it has like 1,700 views. But one of the first couple comments I got on Reddit was some dude just coming on and being like, yeah, he faked it. And someone else is like, what? No, he didn't. And the guy's like, yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, and the guy is like, yeah, no, he faked the whole thing. Like, I've seen people die like this before. Like, he definitely faked it. And I'm like, I took it in stride. I got a thick skin, so I'm like, yeah, I didn't, but thanks for watching. But then I looked, and everything I'd ever posted was suddenly downvoted. It's like, there's definitely, I mean, there's the feeling of no matter how much support I get from my friends, loved ones, family, people on my Facebook, random people coming to chat, the one guy who does something or says something messed up does kind of stick out in your mind a little bit. Like,
Yep.
does the streamer suck? And I have to say, because we've danced around it and been diplomatic about what our language and talking about this has been, but girls have it tough, man. Like, it's it's true. Like, there's a lot of uncomfortable misogyny, and there always has been in the gaming sphere, and it's like a big joke to go into a female streamer's stream and just say, "Ha, feet pics," and whatever else. Yeah, exactly.
That's weird. Oh no.
And for as many hurdles as we both have to jump through as the new people around here, like, I'm glad that hasn't hit you that hard yet, and I hope it continues not doing so.
Same here. I mean, so far it hasn't. The one guy I can brush off. Do I think about it sometimes and I go, man, I hope that never happens again? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I really don't want it to happen again. But, you know, it's mostly about respect. It's about, you know, and not only that, but common sense. Just take a minute and go, hey, this may not be right. What the heck am I doing?
Yeah.
So I expect to run into the hurdle. As I said before, I expect to run into the hurdle again. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I feel like a lot of bigger streamers that I've seen who cater to a younger audience, especially those with like big over-the-top personalities and slamming desks and yelling and breaking things, and like that's the whole shtick, you know. Again, I'm not going to name names because I don't need no streamer beef, but I feel like that sets a bad example in a lot of ways for how Twitch chat or internet people in general behave, and I feel like that's a big thing that I've really strived towards in my experience, is making sure that the environment you create in your chat on your channel is not only something you can be proud of, but like something that facilitates respect, you said. Yeah, and I often take a very PG approach to it. Like I avoid cursing as best I can on stream, and you've been very well behaved, Miss Grenade.
Yeah, I told you I would. I told you I would when we talked about it before, and I've been very good.
Look, if you got an F-bomb to throw out, you can. Like, Poseidon saved until the very end, then threw out 2 or 3 after a half-an-hour interview. You're welcome to as well.
No, I'm good.
But no, I feel like not cursing, that's far less important than being respectful, because you curse on your stream, but you also facilitate a friendly environment with the people I've seen you interact with in chat. Like the time or two I've rated you, like you're good to people who chat with you for a while. Like that's so important, you know?
I try. I really do. But sometimes since I'm still so what feels like new, and I don't have like a lot of followers, and I don't have a lot of people that visit. At most, I have like 5 or 8 viewers, so they don't really talk a lot, and that's okay. So it's that urge to, I want to try and interact because you're here and you're friendly and you're being helpful. Because most people that do come in are like, hey, did you know you can try this, this, and this? And I'm like, oh no, I didn't know. Thanks so much. So I try to do that.
That's good. Yeah, I think that's something important as a new streamer, is making sure you keep an eye on the direction your chat's going, because I have a couple friends that I've seen who are new, but also just kind of let whatever edgy memes and things show up in chat, and all of a sudden, like, there's someone tossed out a slur and you have the wrong people who stayed around. It's just like, haha, yeah, right? And yeah, I've seen it happen more than once on streams, not any bigger than mine, and it's just like, if you're starting off like that, that's not a great trajectory unless you want to get to this big chaotic garbage stream that a lot of the top streamers have, you know? And that's something I want to avoid.
At that point, yeah, do you want to deal with that? Because that's just that's a slippery slope that no.
Yeah. But anyway, enough about the ugly pitfalls of streaming. Let's talk about a positive future we have here. Awesome. So you've been, I'll say it again because I just love the bio, a random girl playing rando games.
Yes.
What have you hit so far? I've seen Phasmophobia and Dead Space and Divinity on stream. What's the future for ImplodedGrenade? Like, what else do you have in the pipeline? What do you want to play?
Oh God.
Because I know you're on Divinity right now, and you got a good playthrough going.
Currently, we're playing Divinity Original Sin 2, which I've been enjoying, and at sometimes having moments where I just want to scream at the game.
Sure.
That's also the same thing with Baldur's Gate 3, because that was another one that we were playing. And we'll probably jump into, because they're constantly updating it. Like, they just brought out the Druid class, so I'm very interested in playing that. And
the Twitch integration is cool, too.
Yes! Oh my god, that's so neat. I actually got to see it from a different, like, perspective. Instead of just streaming it, I actually got to watch it and interact, and it's really nice.
Yeah, for sure.
So Baldur's Gate 3, which constantly infuriates me to no end. I will play that again eventually. Dead Space 3 probably at some point because I started that, and there's also the possibility of Horizon Zero Dawn because I just got that on the PC like a couple months back, and it's installed and it's staring at me, and I'm like, I want to play you too. Just wait.
Sure. Okay. Cool. And yeah, are you like? It seems like you're very much drawn to the classic old style RPGs and things. But I like the idea of having that viewer interaction with games like Baldur's Gate 3, where chat has more of a role in what's going on live. But also, I mean, with the stuff that I play, specifically Spelunky and soon The Binding of Isaac, it lends itself to frustration in a lot of ways. Like, there's, I mean, you've been in the chat. Like, I could be playing for half an hour and then die and I'll start over. Like, when you talk about getting frustrated at the game and rage, I've been in your chat when you've had things happen that frustrate you. And I don't know if this is true for you, but for me, it's like, okay, if I were alone in my room playing this game when this horrible thing happened to me that I hate, and I hate this game and I hate myself, would I get more angry or more frustrated? Would I be more likely to just kind of shrug it off? Like, what effect do you think the stream has on your gameplay as far as getting frustrated or letting it out? Do you play it up a little bit? Do you bury it a little bit? How do you handle it?
Oh, no. I mean, I do vary some reactions. I will say that there have been some times where I have literally wanted to throw the headset out the window.
Okay.
Really have. But it's actually, streaming has been kind of nice because I've been able to kind of rein in some of my reactions. Yes, I'm mad. Yes, I'm frustrated. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? In the long run, this is a game. In the long run, we're doing this because this is supposed to be fun.
Sure.
Let's try a different approach, or let's just take a breath or whatnot. Because I've done that. I've actually been so mad at Baldur's Gate 3 that I said, I need 5 minutes to chill. And literally, I took 5 minutes to chill. So it's had an actual kind of calming effect to it, which has been nice.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's something that you really should. I mean, it goes back to not just cultivating your chat or your environment, but also the content you're creating. Like, do you... I go back and forth in my own gameplay, like, if I really want to vent my frustration and let chat see me break down, but in a funny way. Or if I want to just be like, okay, we're going to be a positive role model for other Spelunky players and be like, it's okay, he died, oh well. Or, and anything, like, different moods inspire different reactions, whatever. But it's important to keep in mind the way you want things to look and what your optics are, and that's, I don't know, I think it's something we both do pretty well, don't you?
I think so. I do. I've seen the rise and fall of your gameplay.
Mostly fall lately.
The span of, no, that's not true. In the span of 4 hours, I've seen you go like really far and then fall, and then it just kind of goes downhill from there. But you know, that may be because of chat. That may be because of just a lot of things going on, and then you're already. Again, may not be true. Maybe I'm reading into it, but you know, you get so far and then it's like, oh, I got this far. And then when you just start to stumble, it's like you just constantly take that fall over and over again.
Well, it's all for the content. So we'll get to viewer questions in just a few minutes here.
Oh God, there's viewer questions? Wait a minute.
Yeah, there's always viewer questions. Did I tell you about this? Haven't you watched the other Poison Talks? Like,
I watched most of the other ones and then was like, oh, I have to
and then I'm like, oh, this is boring.
Oh my God, no.
All right. We'll get to viewer questions in a minute. But
God, oh crud.
But a question that
the F word.
It's allowed. It's okay. Like there's whatever. So.
Okay.
Something that one of my IRL coworkers asked me a couple days ago is, hey, you know, Poison, you've been doing the streaming thing for a while now. I popped in the stream the other day. It was pretty cool. I don't know what you're doing, but it's cool. Is it like, now that you're streaming the game, is it less fun to you? Like, do you play games outside of the stream? And for me, it's like, all of a sudden, because I've dedicated so much of my stream, I have... Like, I want to do this thing. I have an in-game goal, like I'm going to finish the Cosmic Ocean, I swear. But now, like, if I want to play Spelunky off stream, like, well, what if I do the thing? What if I accomplish my goal and there's nowhere there to see it? And then it's like, oh, when I stream again, like, oh, chat, well, I finished Cosmic Ocean. I don't know. I can't. I have trouble answering the question for myself, so I'll ask you. Like, does you being a streamer now make you more likely to play games when you're off because you're like, oh, I really got into that because I had like viewer interaction that made me more into it, or do you like, are you less likely because like I'm burnt out? What do you think?
I think it's a mix because there have been times where I felt burnt out, and just kind of pushed through it. I will say during the charity stream that we had in February, and I was playing Dark Souls 3, I was, by the end of the game, I was so frustrated that I wasn't doing as well as I wanted to, and it just felt like a slog, like we were slogging through mud just to get through everything.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately I had given myself an extra challenge, which was to just play with the starter equipment, which I've never done before. So yeah, it was, I did have those moments, but there's other games like Divinity 2 that we're playing right now, where all I want to do is play. I just want to constantly play. I want to play again. I want to play again. And I've been playing one campaign on the side, and then playing the other campaign that we've been streaming with my husband and with my friend Leia, and that's the one I really want to play because we're getting further into it, and it's nice to be able to play with them. And I think that's the other difference too, when you have people you're actually playing with who are enjoying the story, who are enjoying the experience with you. It's kind of hard to make sure that you're balancing all of that as well, because you got to schedule not with yourself but with other people. So that kind of makes it hard.
Sure.
But yeah, it's been a mixed bag of that. I really want to keep constantly playing games that I enjoy, which is why I play random games, because I just, I enjoy one game and then another game and then another game. Yeah. And I want to keep pushing those games to play.
Yeah, of course. I mean, when we're at the size that we're both at, just kind of smaller and personal and intimate is the word I like to use. There's still the idea, like, yeah, people are watching, so I want to make it entertaining, but also we have the luxury of just being able to do whatever we want and doing it for ourselves. So I mean, it makes sense that it's going to be like day to day, week to week, like you're really into this game, or it's like, yeah, no, or do I want to stream? But like, I don't know. I've been saying all along, I think we're both at a pretty fine job of playing things by ear. I enjoy watching your streams. I think you're very entertaining, and you keep hanging around here every now and then, so I must be doing okay too.
I love hanging out with everybody in chat, and I love watching you play because it's a lot of fun. I really do. I wish I had more time to do it, because with the new position at work, it's been nuts.
Shoutouts to the grenade promotion. That's true.
Yeah, jeez. It's been good, but at the same time.
Did you just throw out an odd G's?
I think I did.
Oh no. Oh guys, I'm spreading it to her. We gotta end this. Okay.
Oh man.
Before we do, chat, if you guys have any questions, fire away. Otherwise, I got a couple on Discord.
Jeez.
The first and my favorite question, the only one I've given you a heads up about, is what has been so far in your short but beautiful stream career? What's been your favorite moment on stream, or what's been the moment you look back on like that was great?
Oh man, this question is a mixed bag, because I originally had an answer and now I don't really know if that's like an answer.
Well, even if it's like something that happened last week that you look back on and you giggle about, like, give me a moment.
I'll give you two different ones. The first one that I originally thought about was anything that happens that's not supposed to happen at that time. For example, at some point I was playing Baldur's Gate 3, and I accidentally sent a gnome that was tied to a windmill flying through the air, and he died. I was not expecting that. It was a great moment, because I sat there for a good 10 seconds just going, oh my god, what have I done to this gnome?
I know what it says on the tin, right? You flung him out of a windmill.
Yep. Okay. That was a complete accident. It said release. And he released.
What did you
not in the way I thought it was going to happen.
Okay. He was going to be straight down to the ground, just crater him?
Yeah, I thought that he was just going to be perfectly fine. The windmill would stop, and the ropes would just magically just...
He'd hop off like, oh, it fixed my back pain. Everything's great.
Yep, exactly. No, he flew through the air with the greatest of ease, and then died. Whoops.
Fair answer. Yeah, I can agree. Anytime it's like, oh, I'm going to do this thing, and then something completely different happens. Oh, we have a clip in chat.
Yes, it is a great clip.
Sure, let's watch it.
Oh my god, no.
Yep. No, it's happening.
No,
Yeah,
oh my
too.
god. Okay.
Cinematic pending.
Okay, that was every bit as worth it as I hoped it would be. Yeah, as advertised, you flung the gnome cross country. Okay.
It said release. I tried to release. It didn't work.
It worked very well. But yeah, that's been my favorite part about this whole thing too, is like the unscripted stuff. There's no way I could have planned for that to happen, but yikes. And if you go and look at any of my clips, like I think I was going through with Shark a couple of my top clips, and of my 30 top clips, one of them was me doing something cool, and the other 29 were things going horribly wrong.
I think all of mine are just things going horribly wrong. Like singing out loud to... What was the one? Yeah, singing out loud about a dead guy in the wall, and then the dead guy in the wall attacked me. That's also another one of my favorite ones.
Cool. Good answer. Well, I'll go perusing through your clips a little later, and we'll check it out. Maybe we'll share some more in chat.
Great.
Poison Dawn asks, pizza or wing?
Pizza. Even though I'm lactose intolerant. Pizza, every time. I will let my body suffer for the delicious gooiness of cheese.
Straight into the point. I like that. You know, out in central New York, we have a city called Utica where hope goes to die, and they have tomato pie, which is just pizza without the cheese. It's just bread. It's just soggy bread with like.
Why?
Why? I don't know. I have no end to that story. I'm just like, this exists, and you should be sad about it. It sounds disgusting. I mean, sauce. I feel like sauce is the most important part of a pizza. Like cheese, you can't screw up. You put cheese on, it's gonna be good, right?
I mean, cheese is just. Oh, I love cheese in general, so that's probably why.
From Discord, are there any pitfalls to streaming that you've hit early that you were surprised that it's just like, oh, this is harder than I thought, or anything you've jumped into and has been easier than you thought? So what have been, I guess, the challenges you've overcome so far in streaming, or stuff that wasn't a challenge at all?
Technical issues, just constant technical issues. Because you think it's going to be pretty simple to set everything up, and you're just ready, bang, out the gate, we're going. No, it is not like that. For me, it takes me like 15 minutes to make sure that everything is set up correctly and everything looks nice and my camera looks great and I look fantastic. No, but in all honesty, the technical issues have been annoying sometimes because some things work or they break. Because I've actually run into problems where my camera wouldn't zoom in, so you would see like the entire back wall over here, and I'm like, nobody wants to see that I have mail on the floor. Okay, nobody wants to see that.
Just quick zoom and enhance, get the address.
Yep, zoom and enhance. So mostly technical difficulties. For the easiest part is just jumping in and playing. Honestly, that's just to be able to go, hey, how's everybody doing? All right, here's what we're playing, and then we're in, and we're bang, we're out the gate after the technical difficulties. Oh God, yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm very much familiar with that. Like we said at the start, this is the very first time I've done one of these, and it hasn't been like, oh, let's take a minute and shrink the window and open up the window, and I can't hear Poseidon for some reason, and there's just his eyes, and it's not that. Yeah.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah, apparently. It even made you own custom background and everything.
Yes, I see that.
Tell me how cute it is.
I love it. It is cute. I love the googly eyes. That's what it is. Always gets me the googly eyes.
Question: how's Streamlabs? Do you use Streamlabs?
I use Streamlabs OBS. Yes.
Tell me about your rig. How about that? That can be a question.
God, I have no idea. Oh geez.
Well, not like your physical rig. No one cares about the components of your computer.
Oh, cool.
But like, what do you? I mean, like right now, I have regular OBS up. I have, you know, I have it tied to my Discord, my Twitch. I don't know. Are there any cool widgets or cool things that a new streamer like me might be able to benefit from that you use that other people might not?
Oh gosh, I don't use a lot of the widgets because some of the ones that I was originally using just kind of broke, which was annoying.
Fair.
Especially before the charity stream, because I wanted people to vote on what games they wanted to see. Even if it was just random people popping by, it was like, please vote, I want to see, I want to know. And the one that I originally picked just completely just killed itself. Essentially, it worked one day and then said, you know what, I'm out. So that was kind of a pain. But yeah, I am using Streamlabs OBS, which has been nice. I like it. Personally, that's just my opinion. There's a lot of other different ones out there. I don't want to click on it and start it because it'll probably
it'll immediately shut off your camera.
I like it because it seems, to me anyway, user-friendly, but I still had to do a lot of, you know, YouTube, hey, how do I do this?
Sure.
Hey, how do I do that? Because I had a lot of camera issues when I got the camera, because when I first started streaming, I didn't have a camera, which was fine. And then I got a camera and I went, oh my god, people can see me. I hate this.
It's definitely an adjustment to make, for sure.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Cool. Second to last question. And a very important one that I was going to end with, but how did you come to be called ImplodedGrenade? I've always wondered.
Let's see. We'll make a long. It's not even a long story. Back in the Halo 3 days, early Halo 3 days, I used to play all the time with my friend Ange. We would hang out every Friday and Saturday night at her place. We would drink, we would smoke, and we would be yelled at by children. And it was, you know, those sticky grenades, the ones that would blow,
the plasma grenades, of course.
Yeah, the plasma grenades. We always wondered how it would work if they, instead of exploded people, but imploded people, because I always thought that would be cool. So it was just a conversation that came up one day, and I went, I'm gonna use that name forever now.
That's horrifying. So it would like turn you inside out, or like?
Oh yeah, totally. Instead of just exploding, because that's boring. You want things to be epic. I almost said the F word. And yeah. I want people to implode. That never happens. Yeah, I want explosions.
You're not wrong, and at the same time, you're so very wrong.
I know, but I want implosions.
Need more bits. Okay. Well, good to know. I'm sorry I asked.
That's what I wanted.
I want people to implode. That can be the tagline for this interview.
Yes.
We'll toss it in the YouTube thumbnail. And last question before I let you go. What advice do you have for somebody who's been through the first couple steps like me, like so many of us have done before? What advice would you have for somebody who's just starting off or just getting into it to get to where you are, or to where you want to be?
I'm gonna say two pieces of advice, and the first one is patience. Just patience. Not everything is gonna happen at once. You're not gonna go from 0 to like 1,000 followers in a day. That's, well, some of us, it's not gonna happen.
I'm only like 280. Relax.
I'm kidding. But no, just have patience. And the other part of the advice would be just have fun with what you're doing, because if you decide that you're just gonna put out a persona that's always happy, you know, that's not a person. That's just be yourself and have fun with it, because if you're not having fun with it, then what's the point?
Sure.
What's the point? Then it's just another job that you possibly hate, or, you know, something. If you don't love what you're doing, then it's not gonna really go anywhere. So Oh yes, there's my husband saying.
Yeah, there's
good
husband.
advice. Thanks, babe. I appreciate it.
Good advice. Biased, but yes.
Biased, but good advice. Thanks. So yeah, those are my 2 pieces of advice: patience and do yourself.
Cool. Well, with that, I gotta say one more time, thank you. Thank you, Miss Grenade, for coming and chatting with me for a little while. It has been a genuine pleasure. Let's everyone in chat, everyone on YouTube, everyone whatever, go and follow this lady, would you? What's your stream schedule nowadays?
It's on the weekends now, unfortunately. I try to keep it between. On Friday nights, it's always D&D. I always have a D&D campaign that starts roughly from 7 and ends about 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Saturdays from like 12:30 to 1 to about 4:30 Eastern Standard Time as well. And then Sundays, and that kind of varies, but usually in the afternoons as
Awesome.
well.
Well, even though a lot of our streams wind up on the same days, big F in chat.
I know.
I will be looking forward to the next one, and I don't know. With that, like I said, one more time, go follow this lady, and I'm gonna pop on break for a minute.
No pressure.
More Spelunky action coming up after about 5 minutes of me going and getting water and telling her she did good.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having me as well, by the way, because this was a lot more fun. I felt really stressed at first. I was like, but no, this is great. And thanks, chat, for just being chat.
Just being chat and mostly making fun of me and not you. Thank you, Kate. We'll be back after the break.